T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
I inadvertently went old school there.
Yeah.
Clicked our old intro with the old logo, but
Oh, it's
nothing
okay.
wrong.
It's all right to be retro.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We're going to be talking about a little nostalgia today, so
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
It's all good. Welcome to episode 94 of the Play It By Ear podcast, and you can see that we are Toddless Griffin Light.
Griffin Light. Sons of Griffin.
Sans, yes. Todd a little under the weather today, so it'll be just me and Brady.
It's been making its rounds.
It's
Headaches,
been-
sweats, intestinal distress.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't even want to think about it. Keep it away from me.
Yes.
What'd you say the other day? Niagara Falls through a straw.
Yeah. Are getting back to our Gummy Bears episode where the guy said that his intestinal distress was akin to funneling Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I thought that was an excellent, poor guy.
And I think we mentioned on here before, if you want to get a chuckle and you're a baseball fan, go to YouTube and search George Brett diarrhea.
Be careful what might pop up, but
Well, the language is not suitable for work, so don't listen to it at your workstation. But pretty funny. All right. Once again, we're episode 94. We want to remind you, as we will talk about up until the time that it happens, our 100th episode is coming up. We have put an invite out on Facebook. If you have not seen it, there's the post for it. You do have an invite if you're a follower of our Facebook page on there. So if you please would RSVP, we want to fill the venue, which is the outdoor tent at Sons of Toil on June 5th, 5:30. Wait a minute. I always get the time wrong. 5 to 8. Is that right?
that is right.
Yeah,
That is correct.
5 to 8.
Affirmative.
So, yes. We will have a lot of fun things planned. Of course, doing a show in front of a live audience for the first time. So want to have all of our favorite earbuds along with us. Currently, we have about 16 people who have responded to our invite. So please look in your Facebook invites to events and see if it's there. If you'd like to come, please hit that you are at least interested so we can kind of get a thought in our minds about how many people might be there.
Yes. And if enough people RSVP before the 5th, Eric might break in to his Judy Garland's greatest hits set and croon the tunes of Judy.
Is that supposed to incentivize people?
Cling, cling, cling goes the trolley.
Clang, clang, clang is a trolley.
Oh,
Oh, Andy.
ooh. This is
All
just some tomfoolery there. It was one of those spontaneous moments you had to be there. But every head, Eric made that joke, started singing that Judy Garland song. There was 5 heads like hoot owls on a line, just went "Nyonk," to see who is singing such a tune.
All right. So once again, our 100th episode, June 5th at Sons of Toil, 5 to 8 p.m. That's a Sunday evening, by the way. So not a work evening, not a day you had to work anyway, but obviously most people work on Mondays. So it will be a night before a work night. But again, shouldn't be a whole lot going on. We thought maybe with youth sports and things of that sort at that time of the eve. So again, hope to see a lot of people there. We have, I think I counted about 70 seats in the tent, give or take. So hopefully we can at least fill the tent. Maybe we can overflow the tent.
Fill the tent.
Nice. Fill the tent.
Make it our tent overfloweth.
Yes, indeed. All right. As always, we invite you to chime in, check in, give us a comment, let us know who's there. Maxwell, welcome.
Maxwell.
Savannah with us.
Savannah.
Nice. How come we've never done that before? That seems just led right into that. Allison, another Hall of Famer with us, and she says she will be home for the June 5th extravaganza. So
now, do you mean home as in Ohio or sweet home Alabama?
I think she means home in Ohio.
In Ohio, okay.
So yeah, hope to see you there, Allison.
Yes, we hope to see so many people there. What I'm most excited about is we see this through the comments. I'm so curious just to watch people's faces. I'm wondering if it's going to be smiles or dumbfoundment, bemusement.
It'll probably be
what?
All night.
Like a dog that hears a strange note.
Carissa with us. Treva with us. Hello. All right. So again, just me and Brady tonight. So I'll give you the general format of the show. We each bring a topic to the table. We talk 20-ish minutes on said topic. Obviously, with 2 of us here tonight, probably will go certainly over that 20-ish minutes. So looking forward to the topics we have tonight. Allison says she will be at a brewery with frosty adult beverages. It'll be a hoot. That's where she'll be on June. A hoot. That'll be.
Can't wait.
June 5th. All right. So with only 2 of us, generally I am the one that MCs a game, but with 2 co-hosts here, a game really is not feasible. So I will actually do an ordinary topic. And my ordinary topic is, and I told you we'd be talking about nostalgia, Entertainment Weekly in 2021, so last year in May. They put out a list of the 50 best high school movies ever. So a lot of these, I believe, will fall into our wheelhouse. I don't know, and maybe I'm just not in tune with it. It doesn't seem like you see lately a lot of high school movies that age. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm not in tune to that.
I think in the 80s, primarily, that the 80s and the early 90s, was the wheelhouse of the high school movie. But I'm going to go with this. It's not like I sit around and watch modern high school movies, but here's what I have found is what is popular, that a lot of them are not funny. They kind of run dark and serious.
Yeah.
And the high school movie has like, for instance, Riverdale. It's, a take on the Archie comic. But
which is very odd to me because the Archie comics were about as lighthearted,
pure bubblegum as it gets.
Yeah. And then to turn this, like you said, this dark thing. Very odd. Very odd.
Veronica
I've never-
Mars is kind of another one. I love Veronica Mars, but it was a murder mystery, none of the Scooby-Doo variety.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing what's going to be on this nostalgic list is funnier comedies.
All right, and we'll see.
We'll
Honestly,
see.
I'm not
Just a guess.
Not looked at the whole list, so we'll all find out together here. People already chiming in. Breakfast Club, Carissa, John Barney, welcome. Dead Poet Society, that's his input. I'm sure both of these are on the list, but like I said, I've not looked at the list, so we'll all find out right now.
Let's go.
I'll go hit and miss over the list here. I'll stop on some, and I'll just move on through the others. I think I can name off all 50. Brady, I told you I wouldn't go through all 50, but I think I can at least name all 50. And we'll start with number 50, obviously. A movie called Splendor in the Grass. I've never
heard of it.
1960,
Sounds fancy.
1961 had Natalie Wood and Warren Beatty. So
Natalie Wood was a very attractive lass back in the day.
And the last line of this little write-up on Splendor in the Grass, a chilling PSA against the dangers of teen abstinence. Sounds entertaining.
Well, the dangers of what?
Teen abstinence.
So it's saying abstinence is dangerous? Or is it saying that the dangers of promiscuity?
Well, so the gist of the movie is Natalie Wood, and I'll use the wording of the write-up here, is so tortured by her sexual urges for beau Warren Beatty and conflicting pressure to be moral that she attempts suicide after a school dance.
Gotcha.
So, yes.
That sounds dark.
PSA against teen. Back in 1961, too. I mean, that is very dark, it seems, for 1961.
So, Eric, this made me think, and I'm kind of going to... Is anywhere in the list, are the after school specials, speaking of PSAs, are they included in these lists or probably not?
No, these are movies.
So that one where my kid's a punk rocker, where the parents, like...
Yeah, that would not be on this list.
Or when Scott Baio, has one beer and his parents, send him to Alcatraz and...
Yeah. No, the not after school specials, just strictly like cinematic movies.
Yeah.
I think it's what's on this list. So, number 49, 10 Things I Hate About You from 1999.
I love that movie. It's a good one.
That movie. And based upon a Taming of the Shrew. That's
like the Tame Your Shrew.
Hey.
My Rodney Dangerfield.
I was going to say, thank you, Rodney. Based upon Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. So,
if I remember right, is 10 Things I Hate About You, was that Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No. Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Ledger.
Yeah. There was a bunch of those movies around that era, and like the titles, I get confused, but once the description started, 10 Things I Hate About You was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. All right, number 48 from 1985, right in our wheelhouse, Brady, Just One of the Guys.
That's probably a movie that cannot be made today.
No, it certainly would take on a different tone today. And for those who are not familiar, basically a girl dresses as a boy and acts as
play football.
Boy to play football. So again, would be a different thing today.
Am I misremembering this? But isn't there like a scene where she is clothing challenged?
I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm not sure I've ever watched it.
Really?
I know of it. I'm not sure I've ever watched it.
But that's one of those things where like that was in the 80s. There was clothing challenged scenes in high school movies, which was kind of like,
let me read you this line. This immensely fun, if minor romp from the 80s perfectly captures the decade's raunch light spirit and funky fashion sense. So there you go.
Raunch light.
Raunch. All right, number 47, Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't get into Napoleon Dynamite.
I'm glad I watched it, but I am not the addict. I mean, some people swear by it, but
So say there's a very faithful group of people that think very
Yeah.
highly of that movie. Not that
Yeah.
I disliked it. It just was.
it just
I don't know.
didn't grab a hold of me and make me
Yeah.
guffaw.
And the thing is, it seems like it should have, but it didn't.
Yeah.
All right. I don't remember this number 46, Flirting from 1992.
No, not ringing a bell.
Nicole Kidman and Naomi Watts were in it.
Oh, seems like I would
Let's
remember that.
see. She's a Ugandan beauty in a prep school populated by blonde Aussies. Can't say I remember that one.
No, I do remember Nicole Kidman in an Aussie movie, BMX,
Yes.
where there was a gang of BMX Aussies in fighting the ne'er-do-wells on their bikes.
Yes.
And that was the first time that I saw Nicole Kidman.
Yes. Number 45, My Bodyguard from 1980.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen it, but Matt Dillon is in it.
Oh, yes. If I remember correctly, Matt Dillon is the bully. And there is a kid that's getting roughed up. So a large mountain man of a kid protects the kid from bullies. So, yeah, that's actually a good movie.
Yeah. Something timeless for everyone when new kid Clifford Peachy Peach enlists the mysterious, tortured class psycho Adam Baldwin to protect him from the school bully Matt Dillon. So there you go. Everyone will shed a nostalgic tear at Dillon's showcase of evergreen bully tactics, the locker prison, the wet toilet paper bomb, and the bathroom surprise attack. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Here's the one you were thinking of, Brady. Number 44, Can't Hardly Wait.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nerd gets revenge on the jock. The nice guy snags his prom queen crush. Say that 3 times fast. That's Jennifer Love Hewitt
Oh, yeah.
from 1998. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Number 43, Stand and Deliver from 1988.
How can I reach these kids?
Edward James Olmos.
That's Lieutenant Castillo to you.
Yeah, exactly. Jaime Escalante, based on a true story. Inner city Los Angeles teacher, math teacher, teaches gangbangers and becomes super teacher. So
it's one of those teachers make a difference movies.
Right. Pshaw.
Pshaw.
I'm sure it'll push a lot of people in education. Then once they got there, they said they didn't like that. All right.
We're poking fun at ourselves, by the way.
Yeah. Yes, we are. Number 42, Fame.
I'm gonna live forever.
I'm gonna learn how to fly high.
Fame. Sorry, it's not Judy Garland, but
no. 1980, the movie about kids at a
School for Creative and Performing Arts.
Yes, that's where I was headed in my mind.
My parents don't understand me. I just want to dance.
Indeed, and turned into a TV show. So Irene Cara with the well-known theme song to that movie. All right, number 41, one of my favorites. Can't Buy Me Love.
You pooped in my house.
Nice. Patrick Dempsey, who
pre-Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, somehow turned into this heartthrob person. I only knew him as a nerd. I still saw him as a nerd, even though he was supposed to be a heartthrob. But basically, he pays his way into the popular clique, and he starts dating his neighbor girl. What was her name? I forget. Anyway, started dating her, found out he was a fraud. She gets mad at him. Then she ends up dating him at the end because he apologizes and I'm just going to be me, and everything ends up great for him. So the African anteater ritual.
Yeah. And what was the redheaded kid's name? Wormman? Was it Wormman?
Wormman. Yeah.
But yeah, the flaming dog poop trick. And he got upset with his friend for dog pooping his house with the cool kids. You pooped in my house, except he didn't say poop.
Yeah, right. Number 40, and I'm not sure if this one could be underranked, but the Karate Kid.
Really?
Number 40.
That is underranked. I guess it's not about high school, but it's certainly high school era.
Certainly.
I'm going to have to see what's on the rest of this list, but my first glance is it's underrated. Yeah, that's too low.
All right, so I don't think I need to go through the Karate Kid. I'm sure everyone is familiar. Hey, Mr. Miyagi. Watch Cobra Kai. That will give you a new take on the Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done. Number 39, the Virgin Suicides.
Ooh. Yeah, I have seen this. It is very dark. It was a 2000s movie. Like it was in the aughts, I believe. 2000. Okay. Yeah, I saw it, and it is definitely firmly in the camp of the high school movie that got gothic and serious and dark.
Yeah. Basically, the title kind of gives you the gist of the movie that sisters are in a death pact. All right. Number 38. I have not seen this one. 1963, Bye Bye Birdie. I didn't even know it was a high school movie. I've heard of it. I didn't know it was a high school movie. But
is that Anne Margrock?
It is Anne Margrock.
Oh, I love me some Anne Margrock. She, usually people, actresses that were the hotties from a different era, before we were born, usually it's like, they looked like old, but Anne Margrock, she's pretty cute.
Yeah. Anne Margrock is all big hair and energy as a lucky small town teen who wins the chance to be kissed on television by Conrad Birdie.
Oh, thought you were going to say Conrad Bain. Wasn't that a very special episode of Different Strokes?
No, that was Gordon
the
Jones.
Birdman.
A thinly veiled Elvis copy is what Conrad Birdie is called, or what we would call a poor man's Elvis.
Which, ironically, she goes on to Viva Las Vegas to act with the real deal, the real Elvi.
All right, number 37 from 2004, Friday Night Lights. I've not watched.
Isn't that a TV show?
It was a TV show, but before that, it was a movie.
Oh, I don't think I realized it was a movie.
Yeah, basically surrounding high school football in Texas, but in the drama that comes out of that. But
okay, I'm going to make an embarrassing confession.
Yeah,
I know I would love that show. I've listened to my favorite sports announcer, Lance McAllister, talk for ages about how that's one of the greatest TV shows ever, and I have not seen an episode, not one.
Nor have I.
And they say it's excellent, and I should like it. It checks all the boxes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like something I might like too. I just never have watched. All right, number 36. And I don't know how I feel about this, but I guess they are of that particular age. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Oh.
I mean, would you consider
it's my favorite Harry Potter movie.
But I mean, is it like a high school?
It's the Olympics where the schools, the wizarding schools from all around the world come to compete in Wizard Olympics. And
seems like wizard schools would not be high schools. Seems like that would be higher education. I mean, I know what the age of the.
I think they're a charter school. They're a magnet school where it attracts a certain type of magical. But anyway, no, there's a dance. There's like a prom, a formal, and everything. It is very good. I as a fan. The earlier movies, no, but this one is firmly a high school movie. I concur, and it belongs on this list.
I've not seen any. Not seen any of them. No Harry
Muggle.
Potter.
All of our parodies of the inappropriate Harry Potter movies. Yeah, that's for another episode.
All right, number 35, another one I haven't seen, Brick from 2006.
Brick?
Brick. Nah, balls, gummit. They'd flash their dusty standards at the wide eyes, probably find some yeg to pin. I don't know what that all means, but that's how the
Now-
kids in the movie talk. Drug lords, yeah, teen flick in the guise of a noir thriller, where everything is all very life and death. All right, number 34, Get Real, 1999. I don't think I've ever seen that one either. Typical first love with the school jock story, but with the twist. Ben Silverstone. Is that Alicia Silverstone's brother? I don't even know who that is. Bright, gawky student journalist who lusted after. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So I'll move on. Number 33, Hoop Dreams, 1994. I've heard of it. Never
Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't it?
Documentary follows William Gates and Arthur Agee, two kids who avoid the pitfalls of growing up in the Chicago slums by living, breathing, and playing basketball.
I was thinking of Basketball Diaries.
Yeah.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. This is kind of documentary-ish.
Yeah, doesn't make my list, only because it is a little bit too real life. It's very sports-centric. Less about high school and more about the actual sport.
Right.
My rules, I'm sticking with it.
There you go. Maybe that's why it's so low on the list. All right, number 32, Scream from 1996.
Excellent, yes. 1996?
1996.
Dang.
26 years old. How about that? All right. And again, I don't think I need to go through Scream. I think everyone's probably familiar with that. Henry Winkler is the principal of the school, by the way. Just a little aside.
Yeah.
Palms.
Hey.
Number 31, a classic from 1983, Risky Business.
Oh, yes. I love that movie. It's great. You know, my heart still went. My heart as a youth, I probably would have been about 6th grade when the Porsche goes into the lake, just like nearly made me physical sick. But sorry, I Rebecca De Mornay.
Yes.
And her romp with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Was highly illegal, wasn't
it? Technically speaking, yes.
Yeah. So, not that disqualifies it for anything, but it's one of those movies where, like, as a 6th grader, it's like, oh, this is what high school is going to be like.
But I mean, she was a prostitute, so
yeah, she wasn't she?
It was illegal for
multiple reasons.
Exactly. All right, number 30 from 2000, Bring It On. High school cheerleading movie.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yep.
I've not seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah, it's definitely it was definitely a time capsule. It encapsulates the moment. That's an important one. That highly belongs on this movie.
Yeah.
Excuse me, on the list. My bad.
Yeah, I just never thought about watching a movie about high school cheerleading. I mean, in 2000, whatever.
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
2000.
I catch you.
All right. 29, Gregory's Girl from 1982. Another one I have not seen.
No idea. I've never even heard of it.
Gregory's Girl, short on stars, long on soccer. Also sweetly hilarious as gangly Scottish teen Gregory falls for an out-of-his-league girl. And again, that could be the gist of a lot of these high school movies on this list.
Minus the Scotland.
Right.
There was a slice of haggis, me love.
I was going to say, I wonder if they eat haggis in this movie.
The basic rollers in the background.
Number 28, Back to the Future. You ever
Yeah,
thought about that as a high school? I guess it is.
sure.
I mean, a lot of the storyline is based upon high school life. In
The enchantment under the
1950s.
sea dance.
Indeed. Where Marty McFly almost gets accosted by his own mother. That was
Sidebar conversation.
Yeah.
This has come up before. My biggest problem with the teen high school movies that are based in the 50s and the early 60s is this whole where all dudes were Neanderthals. Like they would drag race for each other's girlfriends, and the girlfriends were okay with it.
right.
You know, my car's faster than yours. I'm gonna steal your girl. Like that just happens. You know, it's like, oh, his car is 0.2 seconds faster than yours. I shan't be with you. I shall be with him.
I mean, do you think there's some truth to it? I mean, we weren't alive in the
I've asked
50s.
my mom this. I mean, it was her era, and you know, she does not recall any of that. You know,
So who do you think? I mean, was that a Grease invention? I mean, did that
Well-
happen in a movie prior to Grease?
well, I mean, it's even like even in Beach Boys songs. You know, I get around, or buddy gonna shut it. Like they'll be racing for pinks, and like the the titles of these cars, and I just never got like, and like I said, it was so what's the word, tribal. You know, like there was one leader of a small group, and they were violent
Yes.
and intolerant,
Gangs.
unenlightened.
Yes. Yes. I agree with all
Anyway.
of what you said.
Yeah, basically, Biff. You know.
Yes. Yes. All right. Number 27 from 1967, To Sir with Love. Another one of those teacher movies.
Those teacher make a difference.
Sidney Poitier was taming a room of unruly British teens with his real life lessons in tough love tactics. A boxing glove to the stomach, anyone? having himself played an insubordinate kid in 1955's Blackboard Jungle, the student masterfully becomes the teacher in this sappy but never maudlin tale of inspiration and tolerance. I mean, how can you go wrong in the description of a movie that uses the word maudlin?
I will give it a big thumbs down. It just sounds like I'm a cold, dead person inside, and that kind of feels tends not to.
All right, number 26 from 1986, Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, of the John Hughes movies, I think that one was probably the, how should I say it, somewhat identifiable. Like it was all the stereotype, but it seemed a little bit more real than the other ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So definitely a great soundtrack. Me being a huge psychedelic Furs fan, but it should be top 10 in my opinion. But
So basically, just the movie, Molly Ringwald's character Andy, should she have chased after rich, repentant Blaine, Andrew McCarthy, or stayed at the prom with poor, devoted Ducky, John Cryer? Yeah, and James Spader also in that movie.
oh yeah, always a good foil.
Yes. Number 25 from 1986 as well, Hoosiers.
Oh boy, never think about that as being a high school movie.
So this is one of those movies that if you were making a list of sports movies, it would be much higher on the list. But as a high school movie, I mean, it's probably fair to put it at 25. I mean, right in the middle.
Yeah,
Makes sense. And again,
I would not have Pretty in Pink below Hoosiers in the high school movie,
agreed.
but I wouldn't have
do-
Pretty in Pink in the sports movies.
Correct. Again, don't think I need to go through Hoosiers. I think everyone probably is aware of what that's about. Indiana high school basketball. Okay, number 24 from 1998. I am not familiar with this one either. Rushmore.
Oh yeah, Jason Schwartzman,
Yes.
the older brother of Jonathan Schwartzman, lead singer of Rooney, one of my favorite indie pop bands of the day. Rushmore is. I thought I would like it more. It's kind of one of them cult classics. It's okay, but
looks like a student lusting after a teacher. Is that what it was about?
I will be totally honest with you. I don't remember much. It did not hold my attention much. I just remember him being in a beret a lot. But if you like good filmmaking and cinema, it's going to go on that list. But it does not hold, to me, it does not hold the water as a high school farcical romp. I don't know. It's a little bit too serious.
All right, number 23 from 1975, Cooley High.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
Nope.
So Cooley High, written by Good Times co-creator Eric Monty and directed by Michael Schultz, provided the blueprint for Boys in the Hood. In the mid-'60s, Chicago geek Leroy Preach Jackson and hoop star Richard Cochise Morris, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs from Welcome Back, Kotter, struggled to stay out of trouble while prepping for graduation. The soundtrack featuring G.C. Cameron's ballad, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. I think it was kind of pitched as a kind of a American Graffiti-ish sort of movie.
For the urban set.
Yeah, right. All right, so that was 23. Number 22 from 1999, American Pie.
See, I thought this was going to be top 10. American Pie is a comedy classic. Yeah, it has to be on the list. It has provided us with many quotable and memorable moments.
Okay, so what term did this movie popularize?
Poop break?
No. It's an acronym.
Oh, are we talking about Stifler's mother?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
An acronym for a mother who is attractive, let's just say.
Yes.
Really, probably the first time that was heard
Yes.
became part of the lexicon. All right, so John Barney made the comment, "You are far from it, but Grease has to be in the top 5." John, I'm sorry, you are incorrect. According to this list, at number 21 from 1978 is Grease.
Please tell me Grease 2 is ahead of it.
I don't know. Like I said, I've not.
Call up our buddy Adrian Zmed and have him take it up with this list.
Right. Again, I don't think I need to go through what Grease is about and all that, but basically set in the 50s and a love story between John Travolta and Olivia Newton-Johan. All right. And I think that is underrated.
It
as
is.
far as this list goes, in my opinion.
That's my first blush read. I'll have to see what comes next, but
number 20 from 1989, Dead Poet Society.
There we go. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yep, that's a solid movie. Robin Williams, again, Teachers Make a Difference. He was a literature teacher in this high school that
Ivy-ish prep school.
Yeah, boarding school sort of place. Good movie. Good movie.
To me.
All right, number 19. I know of this movie. I've not watched it. From 1971, Brady, the year of our birth.
Yeah.
The last picture show.
Huh. I know I'm supposed to watch it. I know it's supposed to be a great movie, but I have not watched it.
Peter Bogdanovich's black and white film takes us to the tumbleweed burg of Anarene, Texas, where Jeff Bridges, Timothy Bottoms, and Randy Quaid vie for Sybil Shepherd, the town's number 2 seductress. Her mom's number 1. These horny, angst-ridden teens deal with sex, morality, money, and a little Texas football by being themselves subconsciously callous, but the witty banter, mostly by the grown-ups, makes it all the less bleak. Sounds like Friday Night Lights, sort of.
Yeah.
All right, number 18 from 1979, Rock and Roll High School.
The Ramones.
The Ramones, yes.
Now, it's a quirky movie, but daggone, that's really high for the kind of niche movie that is.
I would agree with that. And again, these lists are about the people who make the list. I mean,
Right.
We may list them differently. Roger Corman's comedy is a jiggly love affair set at Vince Lombardi High, centered on matchmaker Eagle Bauer, who is Clint Howard, whose office is a men's restroom stall, and Riff Randall, rock and roller, who must rebel against Principal Togar to see a forbidden and very excellent Ramones show. I think Spinal Tap and Dazed and Confused, skipping study hall together to get stoned. Number 17 from 1986, one of my favorites. Although, honestly, I feel as far as being a high school movie, it may be a little highly ranked here. Peggy Sue Got Married.
Ooh. Who was Peggy Sue in that movie? Was it?
Peggy Sue is Kathleen Turner.
That's it.
Nicholas Coppola was her husband, otherwise known as Nick Cage.
Yes.
She goes to a high school reunion, faints, has an episode in her mind. She goes back to her high school days, and she tries to decide if she should marry her husband or not, and does end up with him in her mind. So,
Good movie.
Yeah. Number 16, also from 1986, Lucas.
Featuring one of the Coreys.
Yes, Corey Haim.
Yeah.
Corey Haim, Chuck Sheen in the movie as well.
Yep.
Lucas is a small, scrawny kid who befriends an older jock, Chuck Sheen, and basically kind of a day-to-day drama of this little kid going through high school.
Yeah.
All right. Number 15 from 1976, Carrie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I agree, though.
Yeah.
I give it. I give this a yes.
Yeah. Carrie, I guess for lack of a better term, a horror movie, thriller, whatever you want to call it. Carrie is a telekinetic teen whose mother is a loony religious zealot, and she gets teased and bullied, and kind of takes her scorn and rage out on her classmates.
The last 7 minutes of the movie, is it's the kicker. Yeah, good flick, great flick.
Yeah.
It is all about the high school and the cruelty that involves high school sometimes.
Yes. Number 14 from 2010, Easy A.
Emma Stone.
When Olive Pendergast tells a thoughtless lie and gets caught in the rumor mill, she has a choice. Take the hits or take over. Olive is a little bit feminist, a little bit anti-bullying crusader, and a whole lot of sassy entrepreneur. So, yeah, Emma Stone.
Good movie.
Not a bad movie. All right. Number 13 from 1968. I've not seen this. Simply titled High School. Although it was added to the Elite National Film Registry the same year as 2001 in Chinatown, Frederick Wiseman's documentary is, like many of his fly-on-the-wall nonfiction films, extremely difficult to find on video, but it is essential. 30 years before reality TV, Wiseman took his camera to Philadelphia's Northeast High School and shot what was there, editing it without narration into a devastating indictment of bureaucracy and enforced conformity. So, right in the hippie time frame there, against the man, conformity. Not going to have any of this
No
stuff.
conformity. Which is why we will all shop at Hot Topic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, number 12 from the year 2004, Mean Girls.
Ooh.
Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams. Not a bad movie.
Yeah.
Basically catty high school girls.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Number 11, 1989, Say Anything.
I'm holding my boombox up. Lloyd.
One of the classic movie scenes ever.
Yep. Yep. John Cusack is the man in that movie. He just great movie.
And what Brady's referring to is the main scene in the movie where he's trying to win the heart of his girl, goes to her house, stands on the street with a boombox, cranks up the song In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel, and lifts the boombox above his head.
Which leads me to one of my favorite South Park moments. It's when Stan is trying to win over Wendy Testerberger, and they said, you have to stand out of her side of her house, hold up a boombox and play Peter Gabriel. So he stands outside her window and puts on Shock the Monkey.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're in the top 10.
Yeah.
Number 10, 1986, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely in my top 10.
Solid.
We've caught a foul ball. We've been in a parade. We've eaten pancreas. Peterson.
Peterson.
We quote that movie a lot. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Paul, my friend.
Great movie. Again, I would say most people are aware of it, know what it's about. Basically, Ferris Bueller, a high school kid, decides to skip school and takes his girlfriend and best friend with him, and they run around Chicago doing things all day, and he rushes back to his house barely in time for his parents to get home and not get caught.
I do agree that my one gripe with the movie, and it's a great movie, but I agree with many people that the whole parade scene could have been edited out. They didn't need the parade scene. The twist and shout, it kind of took it into a, I don't know. I don't want to call it flying car phase of Grease, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Almost jumped the shark at that point.
It did. It veered dangerously close.
It reeled itself back in, though, which was good.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Mia Sara, very underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9, not seen it, from 1999, Election.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
And I think Daniel Stern is in that movie.
Could be.
But yeah, it is some of the most shocking dialogue in any movie that I didn't see coming. It's about a high school election for president, and this girl that knows no boundaries to win it. It gets a little dark, and it gets very. I don't think that movie can be made today. That movie could not be made today. Eric, when the episode is over, I will tell you the line that I'm thinking of, and yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, number 8 from 1984, 16 Candles.
This would be my number 1.
Would it?
It would be one of my all-time favorite movies. But we have discussed this before. So when Reagan, who is now 15, I think when she turned 12, it was 12 or 13, It was one of those snow days, and it's like, hey, let's watch 16 Candles. And 16 Candles to me, as a high school kid and an adult, but man, when you're watching it with one of your kids, you forget.
It's a little
I
randy.
got very uncomfortable.
It's a little randy.
It's a little, and it was one of the first PG-13 movies,
Right.
but there was full nudity in it,
Yes.
female nudity, and there was just some things in it, and we can't. Okay, so first off, I don't get confrontational, but anybody out there that wants to cancel 16 Candles can just go fly a kite. That's about as mean as I'm going to get. But I will say that under a new lens, the whole scene where, and this is not giving away any spoilers, most people know how this goes. So when the stud muffin Jake tells the nerd, Farmer Ted, Anthony Michael Hall, that he could just have his girlfriend to take home drunk and do with as he pleases.
Yes.
That doesn't age well.
No.
Now, as a high schooler watching that, I never thought, like, oh, haha, but now I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Different time.
Different time. Not that we had ever done that. Let me be clear that we didn't think it was okay, but it was seen as humor. It wasn't seen as realistic.
Right.
But now that's the one part of the movie that just does not age well, does it?
No, it does not.
Yeah.
All right. Number 7, 1995, Clueless.
Great movie.
Great movie. A movie that really doesn't take itself very seriously, which is good. I mean, it's basically this group of people are very superficial, and it's funny. They're superficial, but in the end, they turn to be less superficial. So, I mean,
and who knew that would thrust Paul Rudd into the stratosphere.
Was that the first big movie he was in?
I'm thinking it probably was. I did not recall him before that. Let me just put it that way.
Right. Number 6, 1973, American Graffiti.
Ooh.
Yeah. Again, honestly, if you're thinking of high school movies, I'm surprised that this one is not in the top 5. Really.
Yeah, it's a little bit before our time, but once again, what 16 Candles does for the 80s, what Clueless does for the 90s, American Graffiti reflects back to the
70s.
Yeah.
Which was based on the 50s.
It was just based on the 50s, right?
Yeah. And interesting, have you ever thought that if you made an American Graffiti-ish movie today, it would be based in the year 2000? 20 years prior.
Thank you for making me feel ancient. I'm going to go take my Geritol now.
Yeah, right. Ron Howard and Richard Dreyfuss, the main stars of that movie, although it was star-studded, really. Ron Howard kind of took that role into a very similar role in Happy Days as Richie Cunningham. So,
is American Graffiti, and I'm sorry, this is going to be sacrilege. Is it George Lucas or Steven Spielberg?
George Lucas.
Thank you.
Pre-Star Wars.
Yep.
All right, number 5. Welcome, Howard. On our top 50, you're at number 5. High school movies. Heathers from 1989.
Love Heathers. One of my all-time favorite cult classics. Didn't see it at a movie theater. Saw it on VHS or DVD when it came out, and it was great. It's limited release. Some Winona Ryder, some Christian Slater, Shannon Doherty. Great movie. Kind of dark.
The write-up here calls it the antithesis of earnest 80s John Hughes films.
Absolutely.
Pretty accurate.
Yes.
And probably hadn't really thought about this until now. It's a movie that would stand the test of time. I think that movie probably is as relevant today if you watch it.
It is.
It was in 1989. I mean, really, some of the things that it deals with. some of the issues.
Yep.
All right, number 4 from the year 1955, Rebel Without a Cause.
Sorry, no.
James Dean.
That man can make sausage.
Uh,
No.
All right, I'll read the write-up. I'm sure everyone's heard of it. You may not be familiar about what the movie's about. You're tearing me apart, Jim Stark howls at his parents. Jim Stark is James Dean. For the new kid in school, it doesn't get any easier, though he finds a friend in the extremely troubled Plato. Stark gets into it on his first day with a gang of bullies and a knife fight, and later in a chickie run. Dean was a refreshing change from the well-scrubbed teens of earlier Hollywood films. Here was a character young audiences could finally recognize.
I just can't put it on this list, and I don't know why. My rules, I make them. It does not scream out high school movie.
Now, Howard would say great movie for its time.
Yep.
You do have to take things into context.
I know.
All right, number 3 from the year 1993, Dazed and Confused.
It was number 2 on my list.
Yeah, I was going to say that this is very accurate listing here. Top 3 certainly. Matthew McConaughey.
Jason London.
Right. Again, basically just kind of follows the life of this group of people.
24 hours. The way I've described it, it's 24 hours and you don't feel like you're watching a movie. You feel like you're experiencing it sitting there in a chair in the room with these people. I know I've talked to many people, it's like, oh, I love that movie, but the ones who don't like it really don't. They said this is like nothing really. You know what I mean? There's no cohesive plot, but it's just a snapshot of 1976. And the thing I love most about it, I would have been 5 years old, but a lot of the styles and everything, I think of, everything came later to Ohio back then. About 1978, when I would go to the skating rink on Sundays. People looked like that. I always think of the skating rink when I think about Dazed and Confused and, going to Eastern games and seeing the high school kids back when I was little. So Dazed and Confused, it's before my time, but I get it. I had enough, just a tip of the toe, and that pool was barely alive, but I love the movie. It's a great movie.
Fair enough. Number 2. All right, Brady. Howard says your depiction of that very accurate. All right, what do you think? Number 2. And you can have an either or here because obviously we have a number 2 and number 1. So, what do you think?
Am I supposed to try to pick what's number 2?
Yeah. Let's hear what
I have 2 in my head, and I think one's going to be right and one's not going to be on the list.
Okay.
Can I go with the one that I think should be Porky's?
I don't know what's number 1. I haven't scrolled up that far.
Okay.
Got number 2 here. What's your other choice?
Breakfast Club.
Number 2 from the year 1982, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How in the world could you forget Phoebe Cates? Shame.
Sorry, that scene, I don't even know what the rest of the plot is.
That's why you forgot about it, right?
Yeah, because any red-blooded male teenager at the time that knew of that existing on VHS, the tape was just stretched thin as a cat's whisker because it had been stopped and fast-forwarded and rewound.
I was going to say, I don't know why the tracking on my VCR turned on in that scene every time.
Yeah. Oh, man.
outstanding movie.
Cameron Crowe.
Yes, Cameron Crowe was the screenwriter for the movie. Judge Reinhold in one of his first major roles. The aforementioned Phoebe Cates, Jennifer Jason Leigh, obviously Jeff
Sean
Spicoli, Sean Penn.
Mr. Hand from My Favorite Martian fame.
Yes. Again, outstanding.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, indeed. All right. Brady, number 1. What'd you say?
Don't you forget about me. Breakfast Club.
Number 1 from 1985, The Breakfast Club.
Yeah. It encapsulates everything 80s high school that we were told high school would probably be, but wasn't.
Right.
Now, mind you, we are from small town Ohio. It might have been that way.
Yes. So we mentioned one movie that was not on the list that probably we thought would have been. You mentioned it. I agree.
Porky's.
Now, do you think it's just because maybe the storyline is a little thin? I mean,
It involved high school. I mean, basketball and gym class and
well, yeah, but
high school locker rooms. And
so I guess the question is in regard to Porky's, if you took out the ranch, could the story stand on its own and be an entertaining movie?
a little bit of.
I would venture to say of the movies in this list that we're familiar with, if you took out some of the racier scenes, the stories would stand and be an entertaining movie alone. I'm not sure Porky's would be.
I get it. It just seems like it should be on the list. I mean, for gosh sakes, I would put it there over Hoosiers. Just truth.
Right.
That's truth. Another one.
So then the question is, as far as Hoosiers go, a question on the same vein. How much high school is involved in Hoosiers? It's about high school basketball, but do you ever see these kids outside of basketball as high school students?
Not really, except Jimmy Chitwood had to study and not play, so said his mother. That's about as much high school as you got.
Correct.
I also think Weird Science should be on this list.
Weird Science. There's another one. But again, is Weird Science too fantastical?
It could be. It veers into science fiction and too farcical. Yeah, but you know, it goes in the John Hughes canon. I mean, what's more a 15-year-old boy high school dreams, like he could create a supermodel on his computer that comes to life. I mean, yeah.
But as far as the Breakfast Club goes, I could totally see the Breakfast Club happening in real life.
Yeah, I could too.
So maybe that's the whole gist of this.
Yeah.
List. You know, what is considered a realistic high school movie. And I guess of the 50 on this list, that's probably the thing that kind of holds the list together. I think everything in the list is realistic.
Yeah. And I think the thing about the Breakfast Club, which makes it number one, 16 Candles is just straight up funny. Okay. Yeah. But Breakfast Club does have its funny moments, but it gets very serious.
Yeah.
So, then everybody in the audience would find themselves, whether they realized it or not, trying to relate to one of the characters or the other. They saw themselves in a certain part of a character and multiple characters. Right. So, Weird Science, Breakfast Club is honestly, I'm going to go big here, is our first foray into mature thinking. As a high school, like you start thinking about things like, you know, Because I remember walking out of it, after watching it, thinking, daggone, that wasn't funny, but man, I loved it.
Yeah.
Which was a big stretch for me, because I'm serious all the time. And, but it spoke to me. And there's not an 80s kid around who didn't probably love that movie.
I mean, you walk out of it thinking, or after you get done watching it thinking, am I really tied to this caricature of myself? Am I beyond a jock? Am I beyond a whatever?
A nerd.
Yeah, right.
A ne'er-do-well.
Yeah. So you're right. It does lend itself to some higher level thinking for the teen set, and that's probably why it again is very well thought of and number one on our list. And I believe it also stands the test of time for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, I think the individual characters, if you were to remake The Breakfast Club in 2022, would be different. But I think you would still have those characters that were very different from each other.
Yeah. I mean, the clothing would change, the fashions would change, but the gist of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I could totally see it. It's definitely masterful in many ways. And you can't, as much as I love 16 and I like 16 Candles, honestly, it makes me laugh more. But if you're putting it in a time capsule of one of the great movies at that time, Breakfast Club has to go ahead of it because it is deeper. It does run deeper. So
right. All right, that's a good discussion.
Yes, get to deep dive into those high school movies. If there is a movie on here that you think should be on this list, please let us know. I've already given you mine. It just seems like something would have got left behind. And I'm sure there's tons of other, like when I lay down to go to bed tonight, I'm probably going to look back through high school movies and just see what's on the list. Cause I'm sure that there was something left behind that like
The Last American Virgin.
Oh, don't get me started on that one.
Or Valley Girl.
See that? Thank you. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
What a time capsule of 80s high school, the mall culture.
Yep.
And
I guess maybe Fast Times at Ridgemont High addresses that.
Yeah, which technically is a better movie.
Yeah. Right.
But those are two solid soundtracks. If you take Dazed and Confused, Valley Girl, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and Fast Times, my gosh, what a playlist.
Indeed. All right. Good discussion.
Yes.
All right. Again, Todd not with us tonight, so we'll only do 2 topics instead of 3. So if you thought we got a little windy on the first topic, we only have one other topic. So there's that. Looking at our website, please visit our website, www.playbyyearpodcast.com. And you will see on the top of every page our audio feed at the left-hand side. In the middle, our video feed. In our most recent episode 93 there right at the top with the blue-tongued skink that Brady put into the poster, along with the outhouse and the was that duck, I guess. And our calendar of events is at the top of every page. And on this particular page, if you scroll on down, you will see some different things about our show. Also, down at the bottom, you can register for our email list, and we can send you information about different things that are going on with our show. And I do want to take the opportunity, as I will probably another time after this, to remind you our 100th episode will be June 5th. That will be in front of a live audience at Sons of Toil Brewing in Mount Orab from 5 to 8 p.m. That is a Sunday evening. And we invite you, if you're a follower of our show on Facebook, you can look on our Facebook page. You probably have gotten an invite to our show, our 100th episode. Look for that invite. Please RSVP. We want to kind of get an idea of how many people are coming. Again, that is June 5th, live in front of a studio audience. I guess a studio or a a tent audience, for I guess lack of a better term there, at Sons of Toil. All right, Brady, you have the floor.
I do. You might have to give me a moment because unfortunately I just I lost it. Daggone it. Sorry.
We did have one comment here from Carissa. She said, and again, I would agree with her. It's interesting. There's another movie I think was left off the list, The Outsiders.
Oh.
Nicely played there. Not on the top 50, but seems like it should be.
Should be. And I guess a lot of it doesn't take place at a school. Would that be the main thing that so much of it takes place outside of school?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I am very embarrassed here. But wait a minute. I have lost my list that I was getting ready to read from, and I apologize. I might have to pivot to my other list or my other topic. So let me do that. I apologize. I'm not being unprepared. I was actually very prepared.
Was it the food topic?
Yeah, I was going to do the embarrassing stories topic, but I've got the food topic one, and I'm going to go ahead and go with that one. Okay?
Yep.
And since we're on a nostalgia vein, this is foods we miss from the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
So these are things that we enjoyed in the 70s and 80s as youths, and that are no longer with us as much. Now, they're really not ranked particularly one. They give the examples, and some of these are going to make you guffaw. So I'm going to start off with the first one, and here we go. High C ecto coolers.
Ecto
as in ectoplasm.
As in Ghostbusters.
As in Ghostbusters. It says in 1989, High C rebooted its classic citrus cooler, but they colored it green to go with Slimer from Ghostbusters, and the ecto cooler was there. So it is now passe because it's no longer a thing. Really? Ghostbusters has been gone for a long time, but I do remember the ecto coolers.
I'm not sure I ever had one. Maybe I did, but it doesn't stick in my mind.
Yeah.
I've had green High C before. I'm not sure if it would have been the same.
Do you remember the High C called cactus juice?
Yes.
Because I was always confused because with the Flintstones, when they were drinking cactus juice, I always assumed they were drinking High C. But cactus juice was a euphemism for booze at the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo. So just throwing that out there. Hubba Bubba Bubblegum.
Yes. So the Saturday morning cartoons were rife with Hubba Bubblegum commercials.
And Hubba Bubba was marketed where you could blow the bubbles, but it wouldn't be sticky.
Which I don't think was true.
Oh, no.
It was still sticky.
It's just like saying, ice water is a little bit less cold than ice. It's like different degrees of, yeah. Howard, you can get Hubba Bubba, I think.
But you don't see it advertised.
Yeah, it's not advertised. It's not prevalent. It comes in tape sometimes, like the thin strips, but the big old square wad, the 3-dimensional polygon that was that Hubba Bubba,
Now those commercials were like Old West themed.
Yeah.
Like it was like a shootout sort of thing, but they were blowing bubbles, right? Do
right.
I remember that correctly?
Right. Exactly. You are somebody with a 10-gallon hat. I remember blowing a huge bubble.
And one of them was a real old guy.
I'm sure it was a pink balloon in his mouth because, like, I never could get grandiose bubbles like that. All right. This one is going to hit you in the feels, ladies and gentlemen. Swanson TV dinners. Swanson TV dinners. A turkey or fried chicken dinner was encased in foil, was where it was at in the 1970s. You had to perform surgery to extricate the peas and the carrots are baked into the fruit cobbler that lay between the potatoes and the veggies. These were a staple dinner for Friday nights when you were watching reruns of the Brady Bunch after you got home from school. So, yeah. So the Swanson TV dinners, I never knew why they were called TV dinners as a kid. So you would eat them on the TV tray in front of the TV is what they're implying.
Right. So Super 70 Sports would show a picture of a Swanson dinner and call it the meal of loneliness.
A man with a bad comb over, sitting in a pair of striped boxers and a wife beater and fuzzy slippers, watching Lawrence Welk. He's single and he's eating a Swanson dinner. Is that what you're going for?
Something like that. Okay, so what do you think I'm going to say is the worst thing about TV dinners?
Portion sizes?
No.
The inclusion of questionable gravies?
Well, I'm not a lover of gravies.
Yeah.
So I do not like gravies, but that's not what I would say.
So air your grievance.
I will air my grievance. Okay, so when you heated up the TV dinner, now back in the day, you didn't have the microwave to do that. You had to put it in the oven. So when you get the TV dinner out, you take the cover off, and it's a foil pan, basically. So you always had a confectionery of some sort, a pie or a whatever.
Cobbler,
yes. Hotter than the surface of the sun.
3rd-degree burn on your palate after it's stuck there like napalm.
However, the middle of your Salisbury steak, frozen.
So everything else is hotter than lava except that ice Arctic core of the meat.
Oh. Now the edges of the meat, well heated, and you take that next fork portion of the middle of the meat, and it's literally frozen. Awful. Terrible.
And you were stuck because this was pre-microwave days. So you had to think of a creative way. Now, I'm going to be honest. I think I had a TV dinner once or twice because my mom was like, absolutely not.
Susie Homemaker.
Well, not only that, but I guess, were they kind of expensive?
I don't know.
But once we did get the microwave, I lived on budget gourmet lasagnas.
Stouffer's.
Was it Stouffer's?
Stouffer's, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one that I have forgotten about. This truly is a list. Keebler cookies, the fudge magic middles. Neither the chocolate fudge cream on the inside of the shortbread cookie or the versions with peanut butter or chocolate chip crust survived. But the 1980s fave gets rumored returns, tantalizing deals from Walmart and Amazon. So the magic metal fudges. So it was like a cookie in reverse. So it was a creamy inside, but like a chocolate chip coating.
I don't know if I recall that one.
They were rich.
Rich.
I prefer my cookies poorer. They was a little bit too sweet, and I like a more impoverished cookie. It was a little bit too sweet and heavy, but it was good. Don't get me wrong. So, okay.
All right, a couple comments from Chris about the TV dinners. They took too long to heat up. Then she said,
okay, now Eric, don't say a word. She says Hot Pockets, but she has the notes beside of it. And without reading a note of music, you know that she means Hot Pockets. Am I right, Carissa?
Yes, indeed. And she says soft batch cookies.
Oh, yeah. You know
Outstanding.
what? I always
Outstanding.
felt conned by that when I figured out what the con was about soft batch cookies. They weren't soft batch at all. It was a crust outside with a powder middle.
What?
So it was like a capsule. If you broke a soft batch, it wasn't a gooey soft cookie. It was more like a hard crust outside with cookie sand in it.
What? No.
Get a bag of them. And just remember, with soft batch cookies, you can't sneak and eat them because the packaging, you will get a phone call when you're eating it from South Dakota saying, "Hey, are you eating soft batch cookies in your because it's so loud, it wakes up the entire house. There is no sneaking eating a soft batch cookie." But if you do get one and break, you will see what I mean. So get like a precision screwdriver and dig the sand out a little bit, and you will be able to, if you excavate it, you will see that it's kind of a powdery middle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sticking to it.
Never heard of such a thing.
Okay. Jello pudding pops.
Pudding pops. Okay, so
I know where this is going.
no, I was going to ask a question. Were you more for the Jello pudding pop, or were you more for the Jello pop, like the fruity flavored ones?
Oh, honestly, the fruity pop.
Yeah.
Those strawberry ones were
They were
lovely.
Yes, they were.
I could eat the heck out of those things. But I honestly, no, tell me, it said pudding pops hit the stores in the late 70s, but they were a kid's staple in the 1980s with Bill Cosby as their promoter. Over time, they were discontinued. Are they so synonymous with Bill Cosby that they cannot bring them back?
Probably so. In this day and age, you could not bring that back.
Yeah. So when you see a pudding pop, you think of Bill Cosby, and that ain't going away.
No,
It's not going away. Just like Subway has had to really work hard to get the stench of Jared off their products.
right.
And yeah.
So was that because Jello pudding pops were in the heyday of the Cosby Show, and that's why it's so synonymous? Or
I'm actually going to say that I think we're going to have to look this up, but I think he was actually a spokesperson because he was a Coke spokesperson too.
right?
But keep in mind that he was riding, Fat Albert fame still.
Yes.
And he was considered, like some kind of child rearing authority. So I'm almost willing to venture that I think that the pudding pop commercials came before the show.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Pudding pops originated in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the 1970s and became more popular in the 1980s. I don't see a specific year. It's only a little piece of a Wikipedia article.
But I will make that my job to find out. But I think everybody listening will agree that pudding pops would be probably a huge hit. Kids would love them, but they just can't. I'm trying to think of who on earth that they could have. Oh, geez, Louise. I can't even come up with anybody who could be the pudding pop spokesperson. Maybe John Cena, but
so pudding pops,
or The Rock.
Pudding pops were sold until 2004. It was at that time that Jello licensed their name Pops to Popsicle, and the company began making popsicle molds and advertising for Popsicle brand Jello pudding pops, but they were not the same.
Interesting.
I don't recall Popsicle brand Jello pudding pops.
I don't, but I think the world is ready for pudding pops to come back. They just can't do it. Darn it, Bill Cosby. All
Hello,
right.
Jess. So I had Jess Longacre with us.
Jessica, another Hall of Famer, isn't she?
Yes, been a while. Howard says, Brady, you're talking about pecan sandies, not soft batch.
No, I would have never put a pecan sandy near my mouth. Nah, I could rest assured that would not be a mistake, because I would not be in the same zip code as a pecan sandy. But
You would not put a pecan sandy in your mouth.
yes. Okay, I remember this one, and I liked these. The Hershey's Bar, the Bar None.
Yes.
Hershey Bar was introduced, of course. The Bar None. It's made of milk chocolate flavored wafers filled with chocolate cream, with crushed peanuts, and a coating of milk chocolate. It tried to compete with Twix.
And
The tasty chocolate beast candy fell into oblivion. I don't know why. I guess the Twix was mightier than the Bar None.
Without a doubt. Twix those were invented in the 80s, weren't they?
Yes. The inventor of Twickery is cool in my book. Okay, now Eric, this is one you might want to pull up on the screen if you can. Okay. Nabisco Swiss cheese crackers. Think of a Cheez-It, but they are Swiss cheese flavored, and the cracker had holes like Swiss cheese. I don't remember these at all. They don't sound familiar. And it's one of the few things on this list that I would have eaten it, but I don't remember it. So if you remember the Cheez-Its, Nabisco's, Swiss cheeses, they were Cheez-Its with holes.
Well, I'll put it up on the camera here.
Put it up there. Here it comes. For those of you in audio land, it is the color of Swiss cheese. It's whitish, but it looks like it's been eaten by a rodent of some kind.
It has Swiss cheese-like holes in the cracker.
Yes.
So it looks like a Swiss cheese-looking cracker.
But it looks like some kind of vermin has just got into the box and burrowed its way through all the crackers. But anyway, actually, this one says, well, yeah, the Ritz had them also, but Nabisco, different brands, but the same idea. It's the same exact thing. That gets us the point.
Well, didn't Nabisco make Ritz?
You might be right. On my box that I'm looking at, it does not say Ritz. So that might have been a later iteration.
Wait a minute. Let's try this one here. Basically, it's like basically the same thing, really.
Yeah. Which
to the
these
point
never went
to the point of someone stole it.
It's been stolen. Yes, that's the one that I'm looking at. Now, see, that looks more like Swiss cheese. It doesn't look vermin riddled. But
the same idea.
It's the same idea.
Like
yeah,
a piece of Swiss cheese with the holes in it.
Yeah. So, I wonder why that didn't catch it. You know, there's been white cheddar, but Swiss has never, made its way back into crackerdom. And speaking of which, they're back. I was overjoyed a couple years ago when I went into Dollar General and I found that. Do you remember chicken and a biscuits?
Chicken and a biscuit.
Biscuit crackers?
Yes.
Those are delicious, but daggone it, it doesn't taste like chicken, and it doesn't taste like cracker, and it doesn't taste like a biscuit. But I know it's supposed to be chicken flavored, and I know it's chicken flavored, but it tastes nothing like chicken.
It's like chicken bouillon flavor.
Those are delicious.
Yeah, indeed.
They make excellent puppy treats. Don't let a veterinarian hear me say that. But anyway, here's another candy. Here's another candy bar. The Reggie Bar.
Yes, the
The
Reggie.
Reggie Jackson legend. It was so popular that Standard Brands made. He was so popular they made him a candy bar and named it after him, which fans used to throw when he was at bat. It was a confection, had milk chocolate, peanuts, and gooey caramel. It was like a Baby Ruth, but it was a Reggie.
Right.
And it was rotund instead of a bar.
Right. He made the comment that when he went to the Yankees, he was going to be so popular that he was going to have his own candy bars. That's kind of where that came from.
I never liked Reggie Jackson as a Ute. I was firmly in Reds and Dodgers adoration.
Yeah.
So he was always the villain in my day. So I would not partake of his candy bar, even though it was probably pretty good.
Right. Carissa says spray some canned cheese on that chicken and a biscuit. I'm assuming that's what she's referring to.
I bet she is. Let's see. I skipped one accidentally. Okay. This would have been before my time. This is early 70s, but the name, it is Baron von Redberry. 1972, it was safe for Baron von Redberry, a World War I German pilot who flew around spreading his berry-flavored oat cereal with berry marshmallows. So his catchphrase was, Baron von Redberry is der berry goodest, while the pilot, Sir Grapefellow, with his own fruit cereal, says, tally-ho, Sir Grapefellow is the grapest.
Oh, let me share this.
Das ist gut, Baron von Redberry 9. Tell your Frau to go buy some.
Fraulein. 9.
Wow.
Sir Grapefellow.
Where it's the grapest. They better be careful with that commercial. Somebody might misunderstand it.
Yes. Both piloty sort of people flying in biplanes.
One is pink and the other is grape. It's Redberry and grape. I gotta tell you, I would eat the Redberry, but man, that grape just looks too sweet. That looks like it'd be just like candy in a bowl.
Sweet berry star bits. So I believe those are marshmallows. That's what I
Yes,
think.
I believe so.
So very Lucky Charms-ish sort of.
Very. I actually, it seems like it's a military themed, like Boo Berry and Count Chocula. Instead of ghouls, they're military based.
Yeah.
But
and I'm no connoisseur of cereals, so I don't remember those at all.
I don't remember that one though. That one doesn't ring a bell.
Howard says he does remember those. Again, kind of like what we said along the lines of Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry.
Okay.
But obviously the Count Chocula, Boo Berry, and Frankenberry won out because we don't remember the Baron von Berry, whatever.
Okay. Now the next one has a funny story attached to it. The PB Max.
Yes.
I bet you remember the name.
I do.
It was a peanut butter and chocolate topped, a healthy oat filled cookie made with whole grains for a Mars confection that was ahead of its time. I remember getting a PB Max thinking it would be like a true confectionery, and I bit into it. And it was like a good candy bar that was soiled by granola. It was disappointing. I spat it and I tossed it.
There you go.
Now, see, that doesn't look so offensive to me now, but man, I don't know what I was expecting, but when I ate it, that wasn't it.
Made with peanut butter, crunchy whole grain cookie, all covered in pure milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate. Just not
Milk.
being milk chocolate. But no, I just remember like I was expecting candy and it was way too healthy, so I discarded it.
So I think it's along the lines of like getting one of those protein bars.
Yeah.
And thinking it's going to be a candy bar, but it really isn't.
Where once you get past the chocolatey coating, it's just like tree bark that's been sugared up a little bit. So roughage wrapped in sugar. All right. Okay, we get Howard. I hope you have not gone anywhere. Fruit Brute cereal.
Fruit Brutes. I don't remember that.
This era was off the charts for sugar consumption. General Mills introduced this fruit-flavored frosted cereal with marshmallow bits. It was a werewolf. And as a fun note, I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. He will often put a box of Fruit Brute in the background of scenes for some nostalgia because he liked it. So basically, Fruit Brute was a werewolf. He would have hung out with Count Chocula and Boobry and in Frankenberry. So
Booberry doesn't sound like the same sort of thing as Boobery.
So yeah. So Fruit Brute was a little bit before my time, but I remember the references to it.
There you go.
Yummy Mummy.
Fruity Yummy Mummy.
Man, and Fruit Brute.
And Howard does remember Fruit Brute.
By Fabergé. Anyway.
No, wait a minute. Wasn't it by Menon?
By Menon.
Go ahead.
Okay, now we are getting to the one on the list. I know we're getting close to time here. Howard,
Howard would love some booberies.
So anyway, this is the one that I truly loved, and I wish it came back. And my man Ricky Cobb at Super 70 Sports, he had made a reference to this like weeks ago, but I did not need him to remind me of my love of the Marathon Bar. It looked like a tire had come unspooled from the rim, but it was delicious. It was chocolate covered caramel, but it was like a hippie person had macrame candy. It was like a woven belt.
Woven belt.
But they were delicious. It would have been much like a $100,000 bar with no Krispies.
I'm trying to find one here.
But it was it was its gimmick that it looked that way, that it looked like tread. But it was a delicious candy bar, and whoever is out there in confectionery universe needs to bring it back.
There you go.
Here we go. There it is. There's a profile, and that does look like tree bark. But the Marathon Bar was excellent. It was very
like
chewy.
Interconnected chocolate-covered pretzels.
Yes, but there was no pretzel in it. It was all soft, caramely goodness. Very chewy.
No, not caramely.
Excuse me, caramelly.
Thank you.
But the Marathon Bar needs to be brought back. Absolutely. Now I don't know about this, but I want it because the Hostess Chocodile. The Chocodile was a chocolate-covered Twinkie with a reptilian mascot, Chauncey the Crocodile, who claimed it takes a while to eat a Chocodile. It didn't. This 80s cult classic had a 2014 mini reboot. So I do not remember Chocodile, but I want to try Chocodile.
We'll put one
Chauncey
up.
has convinced me.
Trying to find one here. Oh, here we go.
Here comes
Hostess.
Chocodile.
Hostess Chocodile.
Huh. I see no mention of Chauncey on it.
Chauncey?
He's not with King Dong or Twinkie the Kid.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now we're going to go off on a tangent. What did you
On this
say?
show, never.
Yeah. What did you say? King what?
King Dong.
King what?
I'm leaving that ambiguous. Because we know the evolution. The Ding Dong became the King Dong, which was so offensive they changed it to a King Don for a while, and then it went back to Ding Dongs. I'm not making it up. Look it up.
I know you're not making up. That's why I'm laughing.
So
who ever thought sitting in a room talking about the marketing of this cake?
Ding Dong is offensive. It's silly. What should we call it?
Hey, let's call it a King Dong.
Nobody will ever think anything untoward about that. But anyway, seriously, kids, it was not a ding dong for a while because they thought ding dong was was an uncouth reference to manhood, and then they somehow made that better by calling it a king dong. But the dumbest one was a King Don.
Who's Don?
Pardon me?
Who was Don?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was Don King Jr. Maybe it was Don Pardo. I don't know. But it was silly, though. Don't you agree?
So were there any adult cinematic features that made use of some of the names of that?
I don't know. Unless they were silver. All right. Do you remember? I do. Mug O Lunch.
Mug O Lunch. I do remember that.
Betty Crocker rolled out hot dishes made in a mug in 1976. My wife's a magician, says the happy husband, who gets macaroni and cheese in a cup. The modern microwave versions make this seem less amazing. So basically, it was a mug. You put the hot boiling water in it, and all of a sudden, you had a Mug O Lunch.
You have lunch.
How much lunch is in this? A Mug O Lunch.
There you go.
Ooh.
There's the mac and cheese version of Mug O Lunch
Why does it need to be a mug?
by Betty's Crocker.
Why can't it be a bowl?
I don't know.
I mean, you could just as easily put that in a bowl. Why does it have to be a mug? That just seems like a frustratingly small portion size.
Well, in 1976, the portions were smaller. I don't think Mug O Lunch, or it would have to be a much bigger mug in this day and age.
Yeah. Was this the same people that made Cup O Soup?
I don't think so. I don't think that was a Betty Crocker creation.
This is a Betty Crocker creation. I see the red spoon.
No, I don't think the soup.
Oh, okay.
Cup O Soup was a Betty Crocker creation.
And Cup O Soup was just basically flavored hot water. It's like somebody took a day-old piece of Campbell's soup, like one noodle, stuck it in water, and that's about the tastiness of it. It has a green floaties in it. It kind of looked like fish food in a cup.
Oh, Howard. Did you say King Dong versus Twinkie the Kid? Sounds like a bad 70s drive-in movie.
Yep.
Not doesn't sound like that kind of movie. It sounds like a different kind of movie to me. But
Yep.
are you
Unbelievable.
yawning? Are you yawning during our show?
I'm not. I'm just catching some extra oxygen. My brain needs it.
And he says Mogo lunch became a dorm room staple for him in 1980.
Was it any good, Howard? Must have been. I can see why. It wasn't like ramen noodles before ramen noodles were cool.
I was gonna say college kids aren't exactly culinary staples as far as good food.
Let's see how I probably have time for a couple more.
Yep, we're good.
All right. How about banana frosted flakes? Super sweet frosted flakes have never left the cereal shelf, but adding banana flavor seemed to go too far in the early 80s. The cereal only lasted about 3 years, though there is a banana cream version back on the shelves now. So it's Tony the Tiger, and basically the box is yellow. He's wearing some kind of hat, and he's carrying a bunch of bananas over his shoulder. So it's like the frosting is banana flavored. Now, I would probably dig it, but I bet it would taste like that fake banana candy, like Laffy Taffy. Where once again, it's what they tell you banana should taste like, but it really doesn't. But it's banana when you taste it, and it's yellow.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I don't remember that, but seems like I would have eaten it.
I was about to bring up a picture of banana frosted.
Had to bring up a picture because I can't tell what kind of hat in my picture that Tony the Tiger is wearing.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Kind of see what kind of haberdashery that Tony the Tiger is pulling off.
Here you go. A straw hat.
Just a straw hat?
Straw hat. And a bunch of bananas over his shoulder. I don't believe tigers eat bananas, do they?
No, they are firmly carnivores. I wouldn't even call tigers omnivores. So Tony is a groundbreaking tiger.
Yeah,
he's branched out.
And Tony on the back of this box has a spoonful of cereal like he's ready to eat it. I don't think Tony the Tiger would eat Frosted Flakes.
No, he would eat the kid that is eating it. But do you think that Tony the Tiger ever got tired of it and said, "No, this is adult serious. I'm Anthony the Tiger." But
so maybe they should have put out an adult-based cereal and called him Anthony the Tiger.
Yeah, where he'd be in a slick back Wall Street gear, Anthony the Tiger. But anyway. So that's a pretty good list. Like, there's some other things, we've talked about it. We wish it would come back. But out of that list, the marathon bar is the one thing that I would want to bring back. Well, okay, here's one that's not on the list, but I wish it would come back. It might be back, and I just don't know it. It's called turkey bacon. But sizzling, man.
Sizzling
with some good stuff. But I think it was kind of like turkey bacon. I think turkey bacon tastes like sizzling did, but I loved me some sizzling back in the day. I even liked it better than regular bacon. So
what was so great about sizzling in your mind?
Well, it didn't have fat and sinews running through it. It was just like one color. It was uniformed color, and it was just crispy enough. It was delicious.
50% leaner, according to the packaging.
There we go.
And it's not crinkled up bacon either. It's
more flat.
Flat.
But I ate me a lot of sizzling back in the day, and I thought it was okay because it was lean.
Of course.
So. Anyway, but I do miss that because that was some tasty stuff. But I'm sure... oh, man. Howard being...
Howard
he's
David
on a roll
Marlene. Yeah. All right. Is that exhaust your list, Brady?
I think that's exhausted our list.
All right. All right. That rounds out our show. Once again, Todd under the weather tonight. So
Speedy
Brady
recovery is too.
carried the day. So he should be back with us next week. By the way, just to remind you, we do want to line things up for June 5th, and I'll put the poster up again.
Our 100th episode.
Yeah,
there
Brady,
it is.
Brady, can you make another poster or just add to this one with the date and the time on it? So
I can do that. I can do that. And not to give you a look under the hood or the nuts and bolts, but I'll tell you why I didn't put it on there. Is because when it's a Facebook event, it has the date and time. Right. And I originally did it, and it looked redundant.
Yeah.
Having it so close. But in this format, it definitely needs that. So Sunday, June 5th at Sons of Toil from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock will be our episode 100.
Call a buddy, bring a friend. All right. Yeah. June 5th, 5 to 8, as Brady said, Sunday evening at Sons of Toil Brewing. We will be out in the outside tent. We have about 70-ish seats in the tent. We're hoping to fill the tent up. Going to be a new sort of thing for us. We've never done our thing in front of a live audience before, so it does allow us to do some different things with the show, and looking forward to it. We got some good things planned, and we're still talking about how that's going to look, but like I said, we're looking forward to it. So look on our Facebook page. A lot of you have gotten an invite already, and again, I'm going to get started on Facebook again because I've said it before. So we create these events, and I don't know if anyone out there is versed in creating Facebook events. For some reason, and if someone can tell me why this is, I would appreciate it. Sometimes Facebook will allow you to invite 500 people to an event. Sometimes it only allows you to invite 50 people to an event.
And sometimes it'll only allow you to invite 10. I've had that happen.
Yeah, and there's no sense in any of it. You go through about the process of creating the event the same way, and one time you can invite 500, another time you can invite 50. So really, it doesn't make any sense. So if you have not gotten a Facebook invite for that, because this was
seek
one
us out.
I was only allowed to invite 50 to this, so I did the best I could with that. But as I've said before, we see numbers on a screen. We don't know specifically unless you make a comment who's listening or out there. So if I've missed you with an invite, I apologize for that. Go to our Facebook page, go to the events. It's there. Click that you're going to RSVP.
Promise.
Yes. Even if you are just interested, it will put you on the list, and we'll kind of get an idea of how many people we'll have there. But again, June 5th, 5 to 8.
And please come. There's going to be nobody guarding the velvet rope to our knowledge. So, it is going to be a good time had by one and all. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so excited about it, but I'm also nervous. So like I said, I can't wait to see people's faces as we do our stuff. Sometimes, when they put LOLs, I often wonder if they're actually laughing or they're going, that kind of thing. So right. I cannot wait.
Okay. So again, June 5th, 5 to 8, Sons of Toil Brewing. Go to our Facebook page if you've not gotten an invite, and click again if you're interested or if you're actually going to come. Just let us know. And I'll try to do something with that and where I can invite more people. But again, I don't know why Facebook does what it does. Facebook annoys me. All right. So as always, the audio version of this podcast will be released on Friday morning on our platforms. Anchor.fm is our main platform. We also are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app. If you're part of our contingent from India who is listening to us, Ghana would probably be the main platform over there that you can get our show. Video will be archived on YouTube, also here on Facebook, and on Twitch.
Twitch.
All right, you can find our social media links on our website, www.playitbyyearpodcast.com, and I totally forgot to put our right up here, Brady. Visit our website, www.playitbyearpodcast.com. And you can find our social media links there as well. You can interact with us via email, admin@playitbyearpodcast.com. You can also leave a voice message for us. We're still looking for another voice message. Go to your audio platform. There is a link in the description of the show, which will allow you to leave a voice message. We can put that message right into the show. Anything else for the good of the order, Brady?
No, I don't think so. After this live appearance, we're going to think about, making ourselves available to our agents where we could appear at pool parties and bar mitzvahs and weddings. So this could just be the start of many things to come.
Yes, because we know the demand will be high.
Yeah.
He says, tongue firmly in cheek. All right. I never understood what that meant. What does that mean? I mean, what? Why is
talking about it? Certainly has to be your own cheek, because then that totally changes the, the whole timbre of the
timbre
of that situation. So,
all right. Again, by the way, June 5th is the 100th episode. We do have one more week here that we are either going to be putting out an instant classic or taking a week off, just so everything lines up, just to keep you.
And we were a man down today, and we seriously considered it.
Yeah, but we had kind of taken off last week, so we
didn't want to do it 2 weeks in a row. We tried to spread them out a little bit, and it's been a busy time, with the holiday and everything. So we thought last week would be a good week to do it. So, but we do wish Todd speedy recoveries from his ick that he has.
Yes.
And anybody else out there listening that has the ick,
the epizootic. All right. Hope you recover as well. With that, so long.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter @PlayItByEarPod2, and our website at anchor.fm/PlayItByEarPodcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.